Welcome, everyone. It is, what is it? It is Thursday. I just did one of these classes and now I forgot what day it is. Oh my gosh. It's Thursday, July 29th, and I am here with you. It's Robert, and we're going to be talking this afternoon about listings and landing pages. What? Well, you know how you can create Keller Williams agent sites, right? So you can create your own agent site for KW for you. Well, on that page or on that site, you can add pages that are, contact me, about us. You can add, like a home screen. You can do some other cool stuff with it. Well, one of the things, or two of the things that we're going to be talking about today, two of the things that you can do is add additional pages to your website. So, for example, a testimonials page or a download my app page. Today, we're going to be focusing on the different techniques between listing pages and landing pages, and also agent site pages versus those standalone pages. And we'll get into that in just a moment here. So the first thing, of course, we're going to do is we're going to switch over, and I'm going to, while I'm kind of jabbering away over here, I'm going to set up my screen so that I can, in fact, see what I need to see. And for some reason, that's not being very fair and not working with me. So I will move that around here. Da-da bing, bada boom. And again, you're not seeing anything yet, so don't worry. What is it from Outer Limits? Oh, I forgot. Do not adjust your set. That's what it is. Don't adjust your set. The man behind the mirror here is doing everything kind of, back behind the scenes. Whoop-a-doop-a-doo. All right, so I will bring this in here just like that. All right, so now what you see on your screen there is me down in the corner. Hi. And what we've got is command here on the front page. We're going to be doing this mostly, or specifically, we're going to be doing this on the consumer app side. So on the consumer app side down here at the very bottom left, we're going to go here, and this particular class, we make the assumption that you already have your Keller Williams agent site set up. Now, I'll briefly go over this with you, but if you have not set up your KW site, none of this is going to work. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of reiterate a couple of things. Number one, you want to make sure that your marketing profile in the settings area is completely up to date with all of the information, including your bio, so that will contribute to the KW agent site page. Number two, you want to make sure that when you come over here, you have kind of a theme in mind for what you want to do, what you want to say, and then you run the wizard. To run the wizard to create your website, you would go to Site and App Settings on the consumer page. So I'll kind of back up and I'll start the fresh here. So on the consumer applet on the left-hand side, you would go down here, up here to the top right, and you would click on Site App Settings. On this page, you will click the Learn More with Kelly Guides, and that will begin the process for setting up your KW web page. Now, again, I'm not going to go through that process right now because that's a separate class. What we are going to do is we're going to take a look at how to add to that site and also add standalone pages. So what do we mean? Well, let's take a look at the website first. My website for my agent site is kwtechtv.kw.com. All agent sites will end in a kw.com at the right hand at the end of the address bar. Okay, so they're all going to do that. So my site is kwtechtv.kw.com. So on my site, this is what you see. If I go up here, I have a menu, and on that menu that drops down, I have, a new calculator. I've got a whole bunch of pages that I've built here. The default pages are going to be the contact us, the contact me, the about me, and the home page. Now, beyond that, all these other pages I've added, including a testimonials page and a testimonials capture page. In addition to that, because my marketing profile is complete, I have Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. So all of my contacts, or all my social media sites are there as well. Now, with that in mind, this is a website. When you go here, you're looking at a bunch of pages. They're going different places. They're doing different things. There's interaction here. So this agent site has multiple pages like a book. So it's more like a magazine. But in here, we can go and do all those different things. Now, what we're trying to do with this class is talk about things that stand apart from your web page. Individual pages that you put up on the web that don't show up on the web page. They don't show up on the menu here. You're not going to find them in this list. So what are those? Those are called landing pages. So why would we use a landing page? Why don't we just build a page on our website? All right, so let's say you have a couple of listings. I'll just do something simple. 2 listings coming up, okay? One listing is, 123 Main Street, and the other listing is 456 South Street, okay? If you were to build a web page into your site, in order to publish that page so that it appears anywhere on the web, you would need to add it to this menu. And by doing so, you would extend this menu vertically. You would add a page, and it would be dedicated to that one particular listing. And then when that listing expires, you'd have to come back in here and remove that page from your website. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of redundancy. That's a lot of things that you just don't need to do. So we don't want these landing pages to appear on our website, but we do want them to appear on the web. So where do we use these landing pages? How do we actually utilize them? So before we actually create one, let's come back over here to Command, and let's talk about what we would use a landing page for. And quite simply, when we go into campaigns, all right, when we go into a campaign and we're talking about a paid ad for Facebook, all right, so in a paid ad for Facebook, I'll create a quick little campaign here. It's going to be a paid ad social, and I'll say that it's going to be advertising one single listing. Let's do one page, one listing. And I want that to be advertised on Facebook. Easy enough. So this one is going to be 123 Main Street and Streety. And I'll come down here and I'll say create the campaign. Okay, so now here we are in the campaign. Real simple. I'm going to leave all this up here blank right now because that's not why I'm here. I'm going to come down a little bit further and I'm going to take a look at the Facebook settings area. In the Facebook settings area, you're given an opportunity to pick what account and what page that you're going to post this advertisement under. Not that this is going to be a social post to that page, because it's not. It's purchased. It's not going to show up on that page. But this is essentially the account and the page that are going to be the owners and ultimately responsible for the content of this ad. All right. Now, when you get into the destination area here, this is where we want to start thinking about the landing pages that we have made. But I want you to be very careful. The Facebook lead generation form, which is recommended, is a form that the users will be taken to immediately after they click on your ad that shows up in their feed. So they see an ad, come view this listing, just listed 123 Main Street, learn more, okay? When they click on that learn more button, Facebook is going to present them a page. This is the setting for that is going to capture their lead information. When they capture that information, that's going to be passed back to you, all right? But what happens is a lot of people will choose over here, site or landing page. And what this is saying is don't use Facebook's lead capture form, redirect them somewhere completely different. Generally speaking, this is not what you want to do. Because if you don't have your own capture mechanism on this particular choice, site or landing page, then you're going to lose contact with these people because you're not actually capturing the data. So what happens here is when you choose this, it's going to be like, okay, well, where do you want me to direct these people if you don't want me to capture their data? The problem is in the language here. It looks confusing. Right now, Facebook lead generation form and site or landing page. Don't use this. You want to use Facebook lead generation form. So now let's continue the process with these people who have clicked on your ad. 123 Main Street, click here to learn more. They click. They go to the Facebook lead generation form. They enter their information. They say, my name is Robert Vincent. Here's my phone number. Here's my email. I'd love to learn more. Then what do you do with them now? Landing page. Not the one that's on this little guy right here. Not that little thing right here. But a landing page that contains their reward for clicking on the Learn More button. When you say Learn More, you want them to go to a landing page that is going to present them with the information about the listing. And that's where this here comes in. The website URL that you're going to take them to after you capture the information. All right. So because this is here, notice that what happens as soon as I clicked in this box, it says, well, the URL is an error. So it's checking my URL as I go in here. So right now I haven't actually added anything. I could type directly in here a URL and have that be the place where they go after I capture their information. In addition, I can also come over here and say, choose a landing page. Well, where are those landing pages? Well, let's find out. I'm going to click on choose a landing page. And here, the landing pages list. This is my list. These are the landing pages that I have created in Command. So I have several different landing pages that I have used over time to just demonstrate this process. All of these landing pages are over on my consumer app side under landing pages. And I'm going to leave this screen up here for a second. Okay. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to go and I'm going to jump over to back to KW Command, and I'm going to kind of do a split screen here for you. And over in the consumer area, you can see that I have agent site pages and I have landing pages. These pages here on the left are for the website. The middle one is all of those landing pages that are now available for me to use in my Facebook ad as the place where I want to take them for their reward. So here we go at listing at 123 Main Street. This is my entire list. The ones that are turned off are not going to be available. They're no longer on the web. So when you're done working with pages and you want to set a status to inactive because maybe the property's closed, you don't need it. You don't need to delete it. You can, but we're just going to say set it to inactive, and now that link will no longer be valid. But all of these ones that are on in the on position will be valid. So now that we know where that list is, we're going to come back to our campaign page, and we're going to see that we have all of these different pages here, including, if I jump back over here, I have a page called Listing at 123 Main Street. And maybe that's the one I want. So I'll slide down here, and there is the page that I've created, Listing at 123 Main Street. Now, this particular landing page that I've built, I can actually preview this. Click over here on the right, and it will say this is the page that they're going to be taken to. This is the page you built. Forget that it's not actually 123 Main Street. I just put any old address in here. This is the information about the home, the details, and of course down at the bottom, a let's talk. So you have two ways to keep in touch with these people. So this is what's going to be presented to them as their reward. So back to here, and I'll say, yes, that's the landing page that I want them to go to when I collect their information. So I'll click that, and it adds that landing page, and it also is running a little verification right now to make sure that it's a valid landing page, okay? So when that's done, that will say, yes, it's valid, little checkbox there, and there it is. And now I can continue on with my audience and the lead settings and so forth, duration and budget, and I can run this ad. So that's what a landing page is. All right. Now, in my case here, the actual landing page is a listing page because I chose to make it a listing. So I used a simple tool to make this page specifically be for a listing. And that's one of the widgets that we have available. The other options are pretty cool. There's a lot of other things that we can do. So now we understand where we're going to use this in the Facebook ads. But that's not all, okay? Inside of a Facebook ad, yes, we can redirect them after the Facebook form to any page we want. But we can also do this in our campaigns themselves. I'm going to go ahead and leave this. You want to leave? Yep. I'm going to leave the page and I'm going to come over here to my campaigns. If we know the URL of any of the pages that we've made, we can use them in any of the places we want to go. For example, if I go to social posts, okay, and I say that I'm going to create a social post. This is not a paid ad. This is just a social post. So I'll reconnect that account and say yes, bada bing, bada boom. We'll go to this guy here, reconnect it. Good deal. And I'm going to say, hello, check out this listing or whatever. Check out this home. And I'm going to keep it simple because I want you to see that when we come in here, we also can, in the right-hand side here, we can put an image, we can put a video, or we can put a link. And when we put the link in here, and I'm going to go back to my little listing page here, we don't have a dedicated button to add this page as a link, but we can copy the link and paste the link in here and validate that link. And look what it's doing. It's actually pulling from that site. And if I go over here and I preview this, I'll post it. I'll post it immediately so that you can see. The link is broken, or not the link. The image is broken here, but that's just the design page. So I'll post this right now, just that little thing, to my Facebook page. So I'll publish it. Now I will go over here to one channel failed. Oh, look at that. It seems you've changed your password. I did. I forgot what I put in for the new password. I did change my password just recently. Okay. Bear with me. This has nothing to do with Command. This is just me forgetting that I changed my password in Facebook. When you go into Facebook now, I'll just kind of show you what will end up happening. On my page that actually has this, which it will end up going here, this is the page that will have the post, and the post will show up here with the image from the website, from the landing page. So, yes, we can use them as landing pages to take them after a Facebook advertisement. And yes, we can also take them to any page we want in a social post. We can also add links to pages that we've created in email advertising. Maybe we're advertising another open house and we've created a landing page that talks about that open house. Great. So how do I do it, Robert? Well, let's come back here. We're going to go over to the consumer area and we're going to build a couple of different landing pages and listing pages. So I'll come over here. Boom. Landing pages. Remember, consumer area, landing pages. So over here, it says on the right-hand side at the top, create a new page. I'll click that and I get two choices here. On my site, we don't want that because we're talking about the external pages, and as a landing page. So we'll choose that and we'll click on create page. Now, if you have done any of the email designs or if you've done any of the web page designs, this will look familiar to you. It's a bunch of widgets on the right-hand side, and there's the drawing area, if you will, the main canvas area in the middle. Up at the very top on the left is a name for this page. And so I'm going to give this a name, class on 7/29/21, so that I know what this particular page was built for. So there is the page name, class 7/29/21. That way I can find it. Now, look on the right-hand side here. Let me go ahead and I'm going to take myself and I want to put me, I don't know if I can do it right. There we go. Well, put me over here. So on the right-hand side, we have a slew of widgets. And as a matter of fact, if you scroll, depending on the size of your screen, you might actually see a little bit more. So we have agent branding. Then we have a branded header. We have a lead form, which is going to capture their information, a legal footer, and then we have a listing block. By the way, that's what I used in that 123 Main Street page. Then we have a market snapshot for a particular region. Your local expert, we have the option to add a video. And the best way to add a video here is to use a link to a video, preferably on YouTube or something like that. Then we have a testimonial capture page. So we can use a testimonial capture to show people, hey, love to hear from you, love to hear from what you have to say. And then over here, we have a download my app. For each of these widgets, to get them to be used, all we have to do is drag them out onto the page. So let's start with a couple of one here. Well, I'll start with, I like the branded header. It's nice and thin, and you can see it kind of takes up very little space at the top. However, if you prefer something a little bit bigger, you can choose the agent branding, and it gives you a little bit of a larger image here, a little bit more going on. It's up to you, but I like this thin one here. I like to keep it nice and tight. So the next thing here is, before I actually add any, like what we call the middle of the sandwich or the content in the middle, I'm going to add the bottom of the page. I'm going to add the legal footer here. And when I add the legal footer, you can see that there's nothing in the middle here. It just goes from the top right down to the footer. So anything that I add now, I'm going to be adding it in between these two things. So I've built my footer, I've built my header. Now, what am I going to put in here? What is it going to be? Is it going to be a listing? Let's take a look and see what happens when I drag a listing in here. The default background images show up, and it says, okay, this is what a listing page looks like. You can't edit the template, but you can edit what the template has for the data inside of it. So the template is the template, and that's that. And it has the whole information with the map and the market, the details and the furniture and all that stuff. Okay. So if you click on that listing and block and bring it out, when you get it on the page, you'll want to click on the block somewhere. It doesn't matter where. And once it's highlighted, down in the bottom right-hand side, you'll see a configure widgets option. So click the configure widgets, and the one that we want to configure is the widget for the listing. Because we have not selected a listing yet, it says, hey, you need a listing. I need one from the MLS. So browse listings. Now here are the listings. There's what, 500 million of them, probably more than that. So this listing page allows you to search for your property, searching by property address, MLS, or KWLS ID. Once you find the property that you're looking for, I'm going to go ahead and take this one here for 87 Village del Largo Circle 87. I love that. That's a great name. So I'll put that in here, and then look what happens. After I select the listing, I get a whole bunch of choices for what I want the header image to be, the main image of this listing. So here are the different images that I can choose. So we'll say, all right, you know what? I'm going to take that outside picture. It looked like it was probably the nicest one. I can also choose a custom image if I want. And of course I can modify the listing and put a different one in here. I'm going to save that and apply it. Give it a second here, and it's going to reconfigure the page with your listing the way that you've asked for it to be. Here is the picture, and here is the information, 1,000 square foot, 2 bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. We go in and we see the extra pictures down here built on a carousel. So, is that a golf course there? Or is it just a pond? Yeah, it's just a pond. Talk to me about a golf course, then we'll talk. So here is the carousel that happens there. Of course, the details, and it's up in near St. Augustine, and they can use the map if they'd like to scroll and zoom. And as we said, here at the bottom of the page is our footer. Okay, so I'm going to save and apply that. So now I have built my first landing page, and this landing page is for 87 Village del Lago. I'm going to change the name of my template to be that name. So I put that in there. I put it in as the name. So instead of being a class name, now I actually have a proper name for this listing. All right. Now, when you're done, you can publish this page. And when we say publish the page, what I'm really saying is add it to my library and make it visible on the web. Nobody's going to know about it until we promote it. But I'm going to click on publish. And it's going to say, are you sure you want to update an active page? Yep, I want to do that and publish it. Yep. All right. There it is. And when it comes back into my landing pages area, there is 87 Village del Largo. Now I can take that page. And as I mentioned before, I can go into my campaigns and I'll do a little, see if I can do a social post onto Twitter since I've got to reconnect my Facebook page. So there we go. Yes, I'll reconnect that. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. But now I'm actually going to do just to Twitter. Boom. And here in the link area, remember it's the link that I'm looking for. I'm going to say, check this out here. Okay, nice. Of course, you're going to build a much better statement here using emojis and all that. So I'll go get that page. Here is the link in my landing pages area. I'm going to I can actually just right click this and copy that link address. Hang on. My puppy's having a heart attack over here. Hang on, guys. Oh, man. All right, so I can copy that landing page. Come back to my scheduled post, and I can say in the link box for that post, paste it in, validate the link, and here is the information. And look at this on the right-hand side in the Twitter. It's got all that stuff. It's pulling it all in together for me. And now I'm going to go ahead and publish this immediately to my Twitter, and I'll publish the post. Boom. Do you want to publish? Yeah, I do. So I'll head back over to Twitter, and we'll take a look. All right, it's going to be this guy here. And yes. So if I go to my personal page to see my, where's my post profile? Here it is. Check out this house. And there's the link. Now, I didn't put an image in there, but there's a link. All right, there's a nice link to it. And I'm using the landing page as a link. Now, Twitter here is, just the link itself. And I didn't add a picture to it. So it's just real simple. All right. So now that we know that we can build posts out of our landing pages and we can use listings in our landing pages, let's take a look at some of the other things that we can do. So while we know that this one here has our little header at the top, it's kind of blurred out for some reason. Don't quite know why, but there it is there. That's interesting how that top got blurred out. That's different. I'm going to have to take a look and to see why that might be happening. Let's create a different one. So I'm going to come over here and say, again, not on my agent site, but as a landing page. I'll click that and say create page. So we end up with the same template that we were just on before here. So I'll say that this is going to be second try. Okay. Now let's look at some of the things over on the right-hand side again. So we have a lead form. If I bring that in, you can see that this is a lead form to capture information. And I'm going to go through a couple of these and just kind of put them in and take them back out. And then we'll look at them as we go. So I'll pull that out of here and get rid of this. Leave a note. I don't want to leave a note. So I'll come back here. I'll say yes. And do a new one because that didn't take out the note. There we go. All right. So we knew the legal footer. We already saw the listing. We know what the agent branding looks like. But let's look at a market snap. So the market snap says Barton Hills. It's a default template statement for here is a market snap. And in the market snap, you can see the statistics, sold statistics. Boy, that's hard to say fast. Sold statistics and active statistics. Now, to configure this widget so that this reflects the area that you want it to be, when you click on that widget, you can say configure down in the lower right-hand corner. And you can say this is going to be, let's say it's going to be Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And the zip code is going to be 0329, no, 03801, right? What is it? 03801. There we go. And that's going to say Portsmouth. What neighborhood do you want to refer to? Let's say that we're going to go, I think there's one, oh, Little Harbor. Why not? Little Harbor. Save and apply. So Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Little Harbor is the neighborhood right down by the water. And now this gives me the sold statistics. Boy, I'll tell you, average listing, what was that, 2 million something? Pending listings 1, active 3, sold 1, sold price 1.6. So this gives you that nice market snap. Maybe you just want to create a quick one of these pages. I'll save this and apply it, and come back here to the, I'm going to apply that. We're done. Come back over here and close the widgets. And maybe I want to bring my branded header up to the top. There's me. And then put down here, instead of a contact form, maybe I want to say something about the neighborhood. Maybe I want to put something in here. So there's other widgets that we can add. So we put the market snap in right underneath our name here. But down here underneath the widgets, there's a thing that says content blocks. You can add images and you can add text here. So I'm going to add some text right underneath the content block. And where it says insert your text here, I'm going to go in there, and I do not know why it's got like 4 different buckets of text there. Branded header. Yeah, well, that's pretty interesting. I didn't ask for 4 of them, but it's giving me 4 of them, so I can work with that. So, I don't know why that happened. So here we are. Insert your text here. Hi. Press repeat. And there's my text. All right. So this text is really just having a ball. Beyond that, you can add additional widgets over here on the widget side again. Just remember, for each of the widgets that you add, you're going to use the configure widgets dialog to straighten them out. Okay. So let's publish this with all those little repeated sections just for grins, and let's see what happens. I'm dying to see this page now. Oh, see, it didn't repeat it in the actual text here. And I didn't do any formatting on it, so it's just really, really plain text. But you could put a little blurb in here about how, whatever you wanted to put in here. So that does give you some flexibility, okay? My little page was pretty lame here, but you get the idea. All right. So let's go back in, and we're going to do something else. We're going to add some other stuff here. And see how easy it is to create these? You just create a new page as a landing page, click the Create Page button, give your page a name. So we'll say that this is going to be Third Attempt. All right. And on this one, we're going to say, all right, so we did the market snap. Let's take a look at Your Local Expert. Sorry about that. And that pulls up, guess who? Your Local Expert, with a download my app button all ready to go. So a little self-promotion here. If you were doing this on a listing page where you're pulling in a listing, you can actually put this at the top or bottom. And this gives kind of like that. Here is Your Local Expert. All right. Gives you a little bit of extra juice there and kind of fun. Now, I'm not going to go and change this around here because that's pulling all the information from my marketing profile. What I am going to do is show you the testimonial capture form, which is quite literally just a capture form that is going to allow people to put their first name, last name, address, and then a rating via a star system, and then enter a review and then recommending. Now, you'll see that when we configure the widgets here, we have to configure it to our needs here. You can't just send this out by itself. You have to configure this. So you want to make sure that you put your team name in, and which if you're by yourself, put your name in here. Robert Vincent Realtor. Headline text. Tell me what you think. No, tell us what you thought. All right, now you want to probably create something a little bit nicer here. Thank you for being a valued client. We appreciate everything that you would say here. How would you rate your experience? You can change these names and change that information. and hit save and apply. So here is the tell us what you thought. This is exactly what we had requested, and now we can publish this page. All right. So now a testimonial capture page. So we're capturing it now. You can put this as an independent page up on the web. So when you do that, you can give people a link and say, hey, I would love to know what you thought of your experience working with me. And you can see here, it's kind of plain and it's kind of unbranded. You could put your name at the top if you'd like and add a little, statement in here. Just, you want to keep this one simple. You want to give them kind of like the feeling of comfort. Erica, that's a really good question. Hang on, I'm going to get you right in 1 second here. When you're putting this together, you want to keep it kind of clean and simple, but you're going to ask yourself, and you're probably already doing it, Robert, okay, that's great. You've got a capture page for the word. What's the word I'm looking for? Testimonials. Yes, testimonials. Now that we have a capture page, where are these going to be displayed? That's what you would ask. Let me show you. Once you've created something like this, to display that information in your site pages, this is where you would create a testimonials display page. You can also create a testimonial capture page, but you can create a testimonial display page. So let me show you what that looks like when it's actually published. So on my KW page here, I come up here to the top and I have a testimonial capture page, which is exactly like the one you just saw with the little thank you. It's got my header across the top, and then somebody can put their review in here. All right. So as a matter of fact, if you guys want to see your statements in real time here, I'm going to put this link. I'm going to put that into the Facebook chat box here. Put that right in there. I'll send it off to you guys. And now in Facebook, you can go to that link and add a testimonial. You can say anything you want. Keep it clean because we are live on Facebook here. Add something into that testimonial, and I'm going to show you how we can go through and figure out which testimonials we want to add to our site or which ones we want to take down. Okay. And by the way, none of the testimonials are automatically going to go up onto the website. All right. So now let's go and answer this question here. So Erica is asking on the snapshots, do those landing pages when they're placed on a snapshot, do they update daily? The answer is no. Okay, the snapshot is not like one of the neighborhood nurture programs that we have, where once you add a snapshot or a neighborhood nurture, that every week it goes out and it updates with that information. The market snapshots do not update. So this is not something that you're going to leave out there on your website because it's going to change. So you use them as like, hey, check out today's market stats. Okay, so that's that one thing you want to remember is that this is not going to update. Thanks for that, Erica. Okay, so if you're going and filling some of those out and you're trying to put some of those comments into the testimonials, let's go and take a look. I'll go back over here and take a look at the testimonials display page. Now, remember, if you are filling out a testimonial right while we're doing this, that information will not automatically show up here on the testimonials page. You have to add it. So I've got a few testimonials here, one, and I've got another one here. Robert is the man. You got it. Now, remember, these are a little bit older. This is actually from the last time I did this class. So there's a couple of them here that I put in. Of course, they're the nice ones. So you get that choice. So how do you bring the testimonials in to your testimonial page? Well, the first thing is to build a testimonials display page. So we're going to come back to our site settings here. We're going to click on create a new page on my agent site, create the page. And just like everything here, we have our widgets on the side. I'm going to simply drag my agent profile out and I'm going to go down below. Actually, that's a pretty big. I don't think I want to have that big one there again. That's just too big for me. So let's go with, is the team the small one? Nope. That's too big too. Oh, that's a whole big team there. Don't want that. Let's go back and try it again. All right. New page. On site. create a page. I'll keep all the garbage off the top. Here is the testimonials carousel or a testimonials list option. So here you saw the carousel when I showed you that. So let me show you the testimonials list. This one is going to literally display the testimonials vertically in little blocks. And I think you can have up to 6, I think is the number of testimonials that you can have. But you're also going to adjust what testimonials you want to display on this page. So by configuring the widget down here, if you click on configure widget, you can change, enter the headline from our clients. You can change the text on here. And down below here, you can choose what to display based on the information that was collected in the testimonial. First name, last initial, city, client since, and neighborhood. So you can choose that. And here, down below, are the testimonials that are currently in the system. And if you click on Browse Testimonials at the very bottom, you will see the additional testimonials that have been brought in and that have been submitted. So if none of you did testimonials, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. If you are watching this video later, I would love it if you would come in here and put a testimonial and just have some fun with it. But here's where you can actually choose to say, no, I don't want that one. Here's the one if you want to put it back in. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and click continue. And once you're done with adding your testimonials, you can click save and apply. And this testimonials list will be done. You can then go ahead and save the changes. Did I not configure the widget? I didn't make any changes to it. I think I need is it the carousel, company profile, team. Let's put that up there. There we go. We have the profile and then from our clients. All right. I got my legal, did I put my legal footer in there? What is stopping me from doing that? I'll take that one off. Okay. It doesn't want me to say there. This click the configure widget. I did. I did. I swear I did. Oh, okay. All right. Hello. And then I'll put in hello. That's what it wanted. All right. Right. Oh, company profile is missing. Hello. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Now I can publish that. Just missing some information. Erica, that's another good question. So Erica's asking I think she knows the answer to this. Can you enter one that was left on another page, i.e. Zillow, Google, etc.? Why not? If it's for you, that's your stuff. Yes, they put it over there, but all you're doing is taking the text. But remember, the testimonials page is designed to be entered by a client, by a consumer who has visited your page, or you've given the link to. So you probably wouldn't want to go make your own testimonial. But if you did want to do that, if you did want to make your own testimonial, are you ready for a rapid fire cool trick? This is not in the book. All right. So stick with me. And if you're watching live, I'm going to go through this and you're going to have to go back and watch this in slow motion. So I'm going to show you something that's going to blow you away. So I'm going to go ahead and close all the other tabs here. Well, no, I'll just leave them open. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to go to Google Docs. And I'm going to come back over here and say, open up a brand new Google Doc. All right. So brand new Google Doc. Hello. And I'm just going to put in some gibberish here. There's nothing going to be very fancy about this. I'll put this in the center. I'll come after that. I'll put a couple of lines down here. I'll put it on the left. And so here is my cool whatever I'm doing. Okay. And maybe I'm going to add an image on here. So I'll insert an image. And maybe that image is going to be image. And we'll go with so upload from my computer. I'll just pull some image from my little, there we go. Nice and simple. Here we go. Size the image. Staying with me? Check it out. Don't get too excited. I'll put this here, and I'm going to say I'm going to put that image in the center as well. So here's my cool blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to copy and paste this a couple times to show you some extra text in here. Okay. All right. Now, why I'm doing this is because in Google Docs, the formatting that you use here is going to carry over if you want to use this formatting on your web page. So I'm going to select all of the content on this little page here. Now, again, this is just a demonstration thing. Come back to my site, go back over here to the consumer settings, create a page, and I'm going to create it as a landing page. Create the page. I'm going to go into the body here. I'm going to add a content block of text. And inside the text block here, I'm just going to select that text and paste in. And from Google Docs, I immediately get a page built for the web. I can also come over here and specify that I want this page to be a specific height or specific margins or anything like that. And maybe I want to go with a width that is just carefully 1,000 and the height is auto. So now the page is going to be sitting a little bit more squished so that on browsers it won't actually screw the page up. Okay. So now that I've configured my widget here, I've got all that text in there. I can go ahead and close this up and there's configure. Great. And this guy's done. Come back over here. And maybe I want to add whatever more to this thing. I think I have to add at least something with maybe a branded header or something like that. There we go. So publish this page. Now, I didn't put it in the center of the page, but you get the idea here. Now that little landing page is formatted the way I wanted it to be. And if I was going to write a testimonial or something like that, I could actually do that here and make it really cool. The end of the day trick on this one is the $10,000 question. Using Google Docs to format and create the content that you want to use on a web page is as easy as just that. Go format it in Google Docs, copy the whole thing, and paste it into the text box of a landing page or a web page that you create. There's your takeaway. That's the $1 million one right there. Put that in your pocket. Okay. So we've talked about these different landing pages. We talked about the testimonials page, and we talked about some other cool stuff. Keep in mind that when we wrap this up, can we add a link to put listings that has documents attached? Yes. If you're talking, I'm assuming, Erica, you are talking about inside Google Docs here. If you want to add a link to anything in Google Docs. So can you add a link? Yes. Inside Google Docs, when you are working on an image, so let's say this image, if you right click that image and add a link to it, that link will be added to the page inside of your web page. And you can also use links on words here. If you wanted to right click, all right, so she's got something here for me here. Let's see, let's see where she's going here. I'm gonna see where you're at. Let's see where that page goes. See, now you, come on, it's going too slow for me. All right, I'm gonna have to pull that up afterwards, Erica. But yes, that link, pdf.ac rkeid, absolutely. As long as you've got an image that it's linked to or a word that it's linked to, like click here, that'll be fine. And I got to tell you, I'm actually having a lot of fun experimenting with Google Docs being used as the design tool to create the web page that you want it to look the way you want it to look. It's pretty cool. So there you go. All right. I've got a few people here with questions that you guys have been asking some great questions today, and I wanted to thank you for that. If you do have any further questions or if you have anything you want to further explanation on, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to put a little card up here on the screen that you guys can use to get in touch with me. This is my email, robert.vincent@kwclm. My address for booking time, if you want to get some time with me, you can go to timewithrobert.com. the KW Tech TV, which is the Zoom room, and we're using that for meetings now. We're not using it for any of the training. All of the training now is being live streamed on kwtechtube.com and also in the Facebook group where some of you are here today. So any of those things, get into touch with me. Feel free. Happy to have you guys reach out, and looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, that's going to be it for now. Erica, if you have any further questions, if you want to dig into that a little bit more, just reach out. I'd love to talk with you about it. I know that you like things like that, so it'd be kind of fun. All right, that's it. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. And I will talk to you tomorrow for the lab. And then next week, we have a whole new month of Command 101 starting all over again. That's it. Take care. Bye-bye.